Gervonta Davis's guarantee?
I
or
call
the fight with Jake
bullshit.
Paul?
Me too.
I call bullshit.
$200 million is a lot of money.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Just shocking. Tank Davis claims a staggering $240 million fight deal is already in his hands. Yes, you heard that right. While fans are still arguing about his controversial draw against Lamont Roach Jr., Tank is telling the world that he's locked into a deal bigger than anything Floyd Mayweather ever signed.
Yeah, I'm fighting Jake Paul.
But if that's true, then why is he chasing a $30 million Netflix fight with Jake Paul instead? Be sure to leave a like and subscribe because this is going to be a good one. And I once again have to ask, seriously, is Tank Davis cashing out, ducking Shakur Stevenson, or playing the business game smarter than anyone else in boxing? Let's set the stage. Gervonta "Tank" Davis isn't just another fighter. He's one of the most feared names in the sport. A flawless record, 30 wins, 1 draw, with 28 of those victories coming by way of knockout. His power is unmatched at lightweight, and his aura sells out arenas across the country. But despite his dominance, Tank's legacy has been questioned. Earlier this year, on March 1st, he faced Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, a fight that ended in a highly controversial draw. Many fans thought Tank did enough. Others argued he looked flat. Either way, it left the boxing world debating. Has Tank lost his edge, or was it just an off night? Then came the bombshell. Tank took to social media and revealed that he has a 6 to 7 fight deal worth a jaw-dropping $240 million. For perspective, that's more than Mayweather's legendary Showtime contract. Break it down, and it means Tank should be guaranteed at least $34 million per fight.
Okay, Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
No. $20 million, I would believe, not $200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist.
But here's where it gets messy. If that deal is real, why in the world is he chasing a Netflix fight with Jake Paul that only guarantees $30 million? Why settle for less than what you supposedly already have? Fans immediately began questioning whether Tank is exaggerating, bluffing to his critics, or if there's a deeper strategy behind the scenes. Enter Jake Paul. Love him or hate him, the YouTuber turned boxer has forced his way into the fight business. With 12 wins, 1 loss, and 7 knockouts, Jake Paul isn't seen as a serious threat to Tank's skills. But he does bring something else: Netflix money. A guaranteed $30 million purse, plus massive global exposure. But there's a catch. For the fight to happen, Tank would need to move far outside his comfort zone. He's dominated at lightweight, around 135 pounds. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is pushing close to 190. The proposed fight weight? 175 pounds. That's a 40-pound leap from where Tank normally competes. Critics are already calling it reckless, dangerous, even embarrassing for the sport. Supporters, meanwhile, argue it's a genius business move. Cash in with minimal risk, regardless of the result.
200 mil is just completely false.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean, so much bigger.
I don't get it. If he thinks this is going to make him legitimate in boxing, I just don't get why he do it.
And here's another twist. Tank had always claimed loyalty to Premier Boxing Champions and Amazon. But for Jake Paul, he's suddenly willing to walk away. Fans are asking, why betray your team for the exact same money you'd supposedly earn fighting Shakur Stevenson under your $240 million deal? This brings us to the man at the center of all the controversy, Shakur Stevenson, undefeated, 24 wins, Olympic silver medalist, and the current WBC lightweight world champion. Shakur has long been viewed as Tank's most dangerous rival. Slick, technical, and nearly impossible to hit clean. He's everything Tank's team would want to avoid. Tank couldn't resist taking a jab, referring to Shakur as the little alley cat from Newark. But fans weren't impressed. They want to see Tank fight Shakur, not mock him, especially since Tank claims Stevenson is already included in his mysterious $240 million contract.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Shakur himself didn't waste time responding. Speaking to TMZ, he dismissed Jake Paul entirely, saying Tank would win easily. His exact words, "Not at all. Tank wins by decision. Jake's too big for him to knock out." But there's levels to this.
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just gonna go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way you could, any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
Tank's been boxing his whole life. In other words, Shakur doesn't even view Jake Paul as a real fight. He wants Tank directly. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. has been left in the dust. After their controversial draw, fans expected an immediate rematch. But when PBC offered Tank between $5 and $7 million, he turned it down in favor of Netflix's $30 million with Jake Paul. From a business perspective, that's a no-brainer. From a legacy standpoint, it looks like Tank is ducking unfinished business.
Well, first off, the rematch, yes, it don't look like it's happening. That's just to, put it out there and be transparent with everyone, because that's the only question I get 10 times a day, maybe even more. So, that's what it is, and that's what it's looking like. Again, we still haven't heard from his camp, like specifically when it comes to the business.
Roach has seen the writing on the wall. In an interview, he admitted he's moving on, already in talks with Shakur Stevenson for a fight of their own. He even revealed that both sides agreed it would happen eventually. And to be fair, fans are more excited about Roach versus Stevenson than a Tank rematch that may never come. And this is where things get even more heated, because the boxing world hasn't been quiet. Fighters, analysts, and fans all have their own takes on whether this Jake Paul fight is genius, disgraceful, or downright dangerous. First up, Rolly Romero, who knows Tank well from inside the ring. He admitted he's torn. On one hand, Jake Paul's sheer size might be overwhelming. Tank's used to knocking out men who weigh 135, not guys who outweigh him by 40 pounds.
Tank or Jake, that's a hard one, bro. That weight class difference is weird. Manny or Rolly, I got Manny.
But Rolly also knows the kind of power Tank carries. He suggested that if Tank lands clean, even a naturally bigger Jake Paul could be cracked. Still, his hesitation says it all. This fight is unpredictable.
I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports.
Then there's Shawn Porter, the former world champion who never pulls his punches. When analyzing the sport, Porter was blunt. This isn't just a mismatch, it's reckless. You've got a legitimate 135-pound champion stepping in with a guy who's closer to 190. Porter stressed that this isn't like when fighters move up a division or two. This is an entirely different world of size and strength. To him, it's not just about money. It's about risking the integrity of the sport.
A really bad mismatch. And you know what? Whoever the promoter is and that's agreed Gervonta to fight, and whoever the promoter is to fight for Jake Paul to say fight this little man. I mean, that's wrong, man. I mean, that's just like torturing someone. Yeah? I mean, going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis. But like, say you don't know what position Davis is in. I heard that he's been having a lot of legal problems and been arrested a couple of times for a couple of felonies and stuff I've seen.
Amir Khan went even further. In his words, this matchup is torture, a complete mockery of professional boxing. Khan said plain and simple, putting Tank, a smaller man, in with someone Jake's size isn't just unfair, it's dangerous. And he blasted the promoters, saying fights like this are why fans are losing respect for boxing. Strong words from a man who's been in brutal wars himself. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia isn't buying it at all. He flat out doubts Tank will ever accept a fight at 195 pounds, calling it delusional to think Davis would balloon up that high. Ryan's stance adds another layer. Is this fight even realistic, or is it just hype to keep Tank's name buzzing?
Congratulations to both guys. Congratulations for everyone that partook in that. You know, they pretty much really invested on it, and I'm actually very happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way.
And finally, Teofimo Lopez offered the wild card perspective. He's not condemning it. He's not celebrating it. He's simply reminding fans that boxing is unpredictable. Anything can happen, Lopez said, giving props to both men for training hard and putting themselves on the line. In his eyes, whether it's a circus fight or not, if the fans are watching, it matters. So here we have it. One group of fighters warning this is a joke, another group shrugging it off, and fans stuck wondering, is this the future of boxing or the beginning of its downfall? But the controversy doesn't end there. Because if you thought the $240 million claim and Jake Paul fight were confusing, Tank added yet another twist, retirement.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight. You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Not long ago, Tank told his fans outright that he planned to retire after 2025, which immediately raises the question, if he's stepping away in less than a year, how in the world could he possibly fulfill a 6 to 7 fight, $240 million contract? Do the math. At best, he'd squeeze in 1 or 2 fights before hanging up the gloves. That's nowhere near the number of bouts he claims to be signed for. This contradiction has fans scratching their heads. On one hand, Tank says Shakur Stevenson is already included in this massive deal. On the other, he says he's done with boxing in a matter of months. Both can't be true. Unless, of course, Tank is trolling, stringing along his critics while laughing behind the scenes. But the bigger picture here is legacy. Is Tank Davis building a career that fans will remember for greatness? Or is he chasing checks until the ride is over?
It would just be sad that if Tank Davis' boxing career, real boxing career, championship is over because, you know, of the Jake Paul fight. It would be sad for boxing. I don't know for that to be the case. But if he make, you know, in excess of 30, 40 million.
They reported $40 million.
I don't know what kind, I don't know what he does after that. Does he come back to boxing and defend those titles?
Right now, his resume is impressive, but the missing pieces are clear. Fights with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and other top names of his generation. Without them, the record may look shiny, but history will always ask the same question. Did Tank really fight the best? And that brings us back full circle. If Gervonta Tank Davis truly has $240 million guaranteed, then why risk it all against Jake Paul, a YouTuber who outweighs him by 40 pounds, instead of taking a legacy fight with Shakur Stevenson for the same or even bigger money? Is this about securing the bag before retirement? Ducking dangerous opponents like Stevenson? Or just Tank trolling his critics while cashing in at every opportunity? At the end of the day, the contradictions don't add up. The numbers don't add up. And fans are left with one final thought. Make it make sense. Let us know your thoughts and comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.